Good morning and welcome to Family Storytime and Craft with Levy Park On Demand. My name is Lindsay and I'm going to be reading What Lives in a Shell by Kathleen Widener-Zofield, illustrated by Helen K. Davey. Do you know what this is? It is hard as a stone, but it is not a stone. It is smooth like glass, but it is not glass. It's hollow inside like a cup, but it is not a cup. It is a shell, and an animal made it. The shell was the animal's home. You live in a house or an apartment building. That is your home. Your home keeps you safe and warm. Lots of animals have homes. Birds build nests, ants make tunnels underground. A bear likes to live in a cave. Here is the animal that lives in this kind of shell. It is a land snail. A land snail is born with a tiny shell. As long as a snail lives, it keeps on growing. As the snail grows, its shell grows with it. The shell keeps the snail safe. You can go in and out of your home. You can run to the playground. You can wait outside for the bus. A snail never leaves its home. It takes its home with it wherever it goes. The snail pokes its soft head and its one big foot out of the opening in its shell. It uses its foot to inch along. The snail is slow. Birds like to eat snails. When a bird or other enemy comes around, a snail cannot run away. It pulls its head and foot inside of its shell and closes the door. The snail is safe. Other kinds of animals live in shells too. Shells come in many shapes, colors, and sizes. Turtles live in shells. A turtle shell can be bumpy or smooth. Most are rounded on top and flat on the belly. Baby turtles have little shells. As the babies grow bigger, their shells grow bigger. A turtle has 4 legs. It pokes its legs, head, and tail through the openings in its shell. Even though it has 4 legs, the turtle is slow. Have you ever had a turtle race? If a frog and a turtle were in a race, who do you think would win? What about a cat and a turtle? If a turtle sees a cat, it may be frightened. It may think the cat wants to eat it. A turtle cannot run as fast as a cat. The turtle pulls its head and legs and tail into its shell. The cat pats the turtle with its paw. The turtle won't come out. It is safe in its shell home. When you go to the seashore, you can find many different kinds of shells. You may see a crab walking on the sand. A crab has 10 legs. On its front legs are 2 claws. A hard shell covers its claws and the rest of its body. A crab shell fits it like a suit of armor. The armor helps keeps the crab safe from enemies. But just as you outgrow your favorite shirt, a crab outgrows its shell. When it gets too tight, the crab pulls itself out. Underneath is a new shell. You may find snails buried in the sand. Some of them do not look much like land snails. Whelks and conches are types of snails that are found only by the sea. Here are some different kinds of sea snail shells. Have you ever seen a snail shell walking along on crab legs? A hermit crab has hard claws in front, but the back end of its body has a soft shell. Its shell is too soft to keep it safe from enemies. A hermit crab lives in an empty snail shell. After a while, the hermit crab grows too big for his shell, so he looks for a bigger one. Some are too big, some are too small. Finally, he finds one he likes. He throws away the old shell and crawls into the new one. Now the new shell is his home. The snail shell keeps him safe. You can look for clam and oyster shells at the beach too. Clam and oysters are animals. They have no legs, they do not have heads or tails. Their bodies are soft, but they are animals. Clams and oysters grow 2 hard shells. The top shell and the bottom shell look almost alike. The 2 shells are connected by a hinge. Scallops also have 2 shells. Here are some different kinds of scallop shells. Most clams and oysters hardly move at all. They open up their shells to take in food and water. They close their shells tightly when enemies are around. Some scallops can swim. A scallop does not swim like a fish though. First it opens its 2 shells and snaps them together quickly. This gets the scallop where it wants to go. When you find a shell, carefully look inside. It will probably be empty. If the shell is empty, it may mean the animal has died or it has outgrown its shell and left behind. If the animal's at home, you can watch it for a while, see if you can tell how it eats. How does it move? What does it do when it feels frightened? When you go, leave the animal where you found it. Animals are happiest in their natural surroundings. If the shell is empty, you can take it home with you. Try to find as many different kinds of shells as you can. Whether the shells you find are big or small, plain or fancy, remember, a shell is someone's home. That was such a great book to learn about shells. Today we're going to be making a shell for our craft. The supplies we're going to need are a marker, 1, 2, or more, a piece of string or fishing line, a piece of construction paper. So what we're going to do first is we are going to cut our construction paper down. We're going to cut it in half so that we can make a smaller shell. Now what we're going to do is we want to round these edges to sort of make that scalloped, rounded look. So you're going to take the scissors and you're just going to round those edges off real nicely on the sides there. And you'll do that on just 2 of the sides, like that. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to color our shell. So I'm going to make, this one had stripes, but I'm going to make mine have some little twirls or some little squigglies on it to give it that really pretty decor. And I've got a couple different colors of blue because blue is my favorite color. Then I'm going to add some little star shapes on it because shells are really have all different types of designs on them. So the different types of animals that live in them look different and have different shells. The next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to fold it. So we're going to fold it like this, one, and then we're going to fold it the opposite way. And then one way, and then the opposite way. And you're just going to do that for the whole piece of paper. It's kind of like an accordion to give it that nice dimension. And you want to try to keep it as straight as possible when you do this. And it should look like this. So now what we're going to do is you're just going to take your piece of string or fishing line and you are going to tie it at the bottom. And I would go ahead and give it a nice double knot just to make sure it's on firm. I'm actually going to tie mine in a bow to make sure it holds really nicely. And here we have our shell. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Catch us next Tuesday for the next family Storytime and Craft. Be sure to like, comment, or share a picture of your craft or anything that you'd like to say below. And if you'd like to donate or view a full list of our on-demand programming, you can visit our website, levyparkhouston.org. Thanks so much. Bye.